Hello crafters, I'm Jan B and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. First of all, before I start, I'd like to wish you all a very, very happy new year. We're starting the year off with a card that's called a Centre Surprise Fold card. I saw a photograph of this. It was a Christmas card and it was made by a lady demonstrator in, I believe, the US. Her name is Patricia Fairless and the name of her blog is Fairless Stamping Flair. So that's Fairless Stamping and the flair is Flair. So if you'd like to check her card out. So what happens is you open it up and inside you've got a little flap like this. It's quite similar to another card I did a little while ago, but on this one I've made it so that it's 3 sentiments all flowing through and it's got the animals flowing all through. I've done the back page as well. Because this is embossed, all 3 sheets, there's not much room to write a sentiment unless you had very small writing, you squeeze it on there or something. So I decided to do it like that. You've also got room to stamp another, if you're a card maker, you stamp another greeting there. Okay, so this was my before video card. My original card was this one, which is almost identical. The only thing that is different is this bit here, because my original idea was to have that and that separately. But it was, I got myself in a bit pickle about it, which seems to be a regular thing at the moment. But hey ho. So otherwise it's all the same, except on the back of this one, I did it the other way round, but that doesn't really matter. I don't think it really matters which one you do on the front either, but with the inside, I like the idea that these are on opposite ends so that you've got the pictures break up the quite large expanse of white. But the options are yours. There's no right or wrong way with this. It's whichever you feel is a good one. The stamp set that I've used 2 because I used one for the sentiments. So the stamp, it's Storybook Friends, and all these little images this time I have actually stamped, coloured and die cut, and I have to say I had thoroughly enjoyed myself doing it. And that's the first time really since I've been back from after having been ill. So this also gets the dies with it, which is a great set. As you know, I do like these fancy ones, and then you've got 8 dies for the animals, for the 8 there. Okay, so that's a great set there. And with these dies you can do it twice, so you get a white one inside there and the coloured one on the outside. Really great set this, and it does come with a set of Designer Series Paper, which is this. I'll show you that just jiffy. But first of all, the 3 sentiments I'm using is from Labelled with Love, and it's Happy Birthday, Enjoy Today, and You Are Loved. So it's really nice to get 3 sentiments that flow through. And for the oblongs, I've used the Deckled Rectangles. I always number my dies from the inside, so smaller the die, smaller the numbers, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I used numbers 3 and 4. Okay, white was number 3, blue was number 4. And for the embossing, I have used the Timber embossing folder, which is a 3D embossing folder. Can you see the design on this? Yes, I think so. Okay, now I have done a lot of the work ahead of time because I know you don't want to spend an hour watching me sticking bits together. So first of all, I'm going to show you the pieces that you're going to need, but at the moment I've only got 1 of each. Okay, I will tell you how many you need of each pieces as we get there. So to start off with, you need a piece of basic white, and as always this is for A4 cardstock users. The measurements will be in the box below together with the centimetres, and I will also work out what the US measurements are as well. Okay, so this measures 11.5 inches by 4 1/8 inches. You need a piece of basic white which measures 4 1/8 inches by 2 1/4 inches. That piece we're going to score. And then you need 4 pieces, assuming that you're going to be doing the back as well. You need 4 of these middle layers in Boho Blue, and these measure 3 7/8 inches by 5.5. Okay, 4 pieces. And then you're going to need 4 of these basic white pieces, and this is for the bit here. And this measures 3 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches, and you need to emboss 3 of them. Okay, don't forget the back one is plain, so you can do your writing on it. So that's another 3. You're also going to need 4 of these die cuts. Did I write this measurement down? I did measure them. If you don't have these dies, any fancy fold dies will work. You see how it all fits together on the card. So I can't remember which ones Patricia used for hers. I remember it was an oblong, and I think the corners were cut off. I don't actually have those. I'll try and remember to put her link below so you can go back and see what she did. But each of these you need 3. So the basic white was cut with die number 3, and you need 3 of them. And the Boho Blue with die cut with number 4, but you need 3 of those as well. I think I'm doing one of those to show you, although yes, I'm going to do one of these to show you. I'm going to do the one from the front of the page. The other thing I'm going to do to show you is embossing one of these, because I always spray mine with water, and when it dries like this. If you put it under a heavy weight, it will flatten like that, but it's not perfect. So I want to show you how I adhere this to make sure it goes down flat onto the page. So I'm going to do that for you. Those two need embossing. That I'm going to do, and the other thing you're going to need are 4 of these thin strips, which is this here. I haven't left a gap there, that is actually a strip there. And these measure 1/8 of an inch by 3 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so first of all I'm going to get my, let me show you the paper. This is really lovely. It comes with 2 sheets, just because I decided to do my own stamping and images and whatever. This pack actually comes with 2 sheets of die cuts. So I just want to show you the designs on this pack first. So you've got the lovely little cottages with lots of fruit and veg at the back, and one of these little creatures, the little bunny, it's got one of these like radish things. Or it could be a red onion actually, couldn't it? Looks like a radish to me, like one of these. Okay, so whichever. So there's that one. This is the one that I've used for my side panels, and I didn't tell you what you needed for that, did I? For the side panels you need the Storybook Moments Designer Series Paper, and you need 4 strips that measure 1 5/8 inches by 3 3/4 inches. So I'll need that one for there. So on the back of that, it's got some really nice strawberries. This is a nice one because you can cut each of these as an individual background for a card, for example those, or that you can use and put a sentiment on. And that's a nice one on the back as well. That's another one of the little creatures on there. Beautiful design there, I love that. So that's the same as that one. Another one of those. And then there's a gardening sheet, and on the back of that it's got another really lovely design. Those two, that one and the bluey pool party one I think it is, they almost look 3D. Oh, there's that one as well. Now these are the sheets of the die cuts. They are coming apart, which is why I've kept them in the bag. Once I finish doing the video I'm going to separate them all so that I don't lose them. Now the background of this is actually basic beige, which is one of our new colours, but all of these are die cuts, okay, so they will just pop out like that, so no stamping, die cutting, whatever. Oh, I just knocked 2 on the floor, hold on. But the reason I brought over the piece of the basic beige is so you see how these actually sit on there. Now if you were to put that onto a piece of white, and also I've got a piece of Very Vanilla here, just to show you all the different ways what it looks like if you'd adhere that onto white, that onto basic beige, which makes it least obvious, and this is Very Vanilla. These work, but I just feel that it is a bit better with the basic beige. Oops, there's another one popped out. So if I pop those over there, in fact I'm only going to lay these down, I'm not going to try and get it back into the bag. I could have made myself life a lot easier for myself by just using the cutouts, the die cuts, but I've been wanting to get back into stamping for quite some time now, and this was a great opportunity because they're lovely little images to paint. So let me just move those out of the way, put that on that pile. So first of all, as I said, I'm bringing over my trimmer, and on the smaller piece, which is the piece that measures where are we? 4 1/8 inches by 2 1/4 inches, and on the short side we're going to score this at 1 inch. In fact I'm going to line it up on the other side, that gives me a bit more to hold on to. Or maybe not. Okay, so that's at 1 inch, and then this one is going to be scored at 5 3/4. So this finishes up as a regular C6 card. Right, all I'm going to need for that, the next demonstration bit I want to show you is the embossing. I am always conscious that I may have new stampers watching my videos, and whereas once we get experience we know what embossing is all about, not everybody does, so we all learn sometime. So first of all, this one is what I'm going to emboss. I'm not going to be using it for this card, but I just want to show you. To get the best embossing detail on there, I spray mine with water. Now I'm not going to do it in front of the screen, I've got too much around me, but you probably hear it go tss, okay? I'm just very gently holding the card away from my body at arm's length, and my right hand with the bottle in is just by my right shoulder. There we go. Okay, don't know if you can see the water on there. Probably. So with my embossing folder, I'm going to pop this in, the wet side down, and I am going to line this up so that it is straight with the black line that's underneath there. Okay. Which I've just moved as I turned it over. Right, okay. I'm going to fold that down. Now when you're doing embossing, make sure your fold goes through your embossing machine first. Now although I do use my Sizzix, I am using my plates from my Cut and Emboss, which is plate 1. I'm putting the crease in first, and then I'm using layer number 4. Pick that up, there we go, there's number 4. Okay, and then I'm just going to run this through. Now let's have a look at that. There we go. That's the correct side. Okay. You see that here? So much detail in it. It's really worth giving it that spray. I don't think I'm doing anything else with that, am I? Let's put this back on the floor. Right, now which was a bit, this was the one that I've just done, so I'm going to place it under my mat here so that as it dries it's going to dry really nice and flat. Let's get these two pieces done first. I'm going to fold and burnish these two, make sure they line up really beautifully, and with my bone folder give that a really good crease, and with this one, with my 1 inch, I'd fold that, give that a nice good crease as well. And I want to show you adhering these pieces onto here. So I've got that one, got one of these. I hope this is going in a logical direction for you. Right, again, because this is on A4 paper, I haven't done the American size yet, so I don't know, but for the A4 paper, this measurement, they're both the same, so it doesn't, you can choose whether you want horizontal or vertical, and you can choose whether you want all of your pages, your 3 pages, to be the same, or whether you want to alternate them. Really is your choice. But this is the one that's still slightly bent, and I just wanted to show you how much glue I put onto this. Now I just got a new one out, didn't I? Yes, I said. Normally I just put glue around the edges there, and I'm normally a good 1/4 of an inch away from the edge, but because there is a bend, oh, that's a bit coming out a bit quick, I do the edges, and I do try and go a lot closer to the edge than normal, and then I do give a bit all over. Okay, I don't make it solid all over, but I just make sure there's not too much of a gap between the next bit of glue and that bit of a blob. In fact, the first thing I do is I'm going to check up which way my page needs to go. Okay, so if it's my front page, it's going to be going like that. If it's inside, I'm going to have that on that side. Okay, so just bear that one in mind. And I'm going to go horizontal with this, I think. Yes. Now, at this point, it doesn't matter which side you put this on, because you can just turn it over if it's the other way round you want it. Okay, so this, because I'm going to be doing that as well, so what I'm going to do is put this on here. You just do all 4 sheets the same. In fact, this piece feels as if it's got a bit damp, it's a bit crinkly. It shouldn't, unless obviously I've allowed it to be right next to an embossed piece that was wet. Again, I'm lining up so all my edges look the same. That lines up. That lines up nice straight. And then to finish off the little bit there, I'm going to use one of my little straight pieces and this one, because this comes out really nice and thin. There we go. Oops, always trying to do that. Put that on the wrong way. Which isn't clever because it makes all my fingers sticky. And just pop that on there. So it should fit top to bottom. And then if I can find my ruler here, just to make sure that I'm straight, it's easy to do it on the picture side. Right, okay, so I can just about see the black line there. There we go, so I know that's straight. In fact, I can't use that for my front page now, can I? Never mind, let's swap that over because I want to show you how I did this. Okay, so this is my front page. No, I want that as well, don't I? Got that one and that one. Yes, I was going to sort out these sizes for you, wasn't I? No, I didn't write it down. I have written it down somewhere. I'll put it on my. I'll make sure that the inches of this size is in my inbox below, just in case you don't have that stamped out. Right, so the front is going to be Happy Birthday, which is this one, and I'm using Boho Blue ink. I'm going to put it on this side because I want my frog there, hedgehog there. Am I still in shot? Yes. Just this. Okay. There we go, that's good. Move that over there. Now with my hedgehog, what I did was, once I had stamped it, coloured it, die cut it, I die cut several plain white ones. I did have a plain one here to show you. Yes, here we go, like that. I did 3 of these in thick cardstock and I adhered them all together. I prefer that look rather than using dimensionals. Okay, you can see how that's standing up. Okay, so I'm going to put him on top. I'm not going to use that one because he's got enough. There we go, and then I can put it on this one. Just because that's straight. Yes, I think so. Okay. I'm going to keep my card in front of me so that I can follow the direction I went. The one that is the one I've just done, isn't it? I think I'm going to use that. I prefer that picture to that one. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start putting my card together now. And it's really very, very easy. I'm going to start off by putting my folded centerpiece, and we're going to be putting glue on the 1 inch side. Okay, so that's a narrow side, and we're going to do it on the outside. There we go. Again, I put a bit extra than I normally do because this is going to be holding the centerpiece. And when I do this, I check to see if one of these sides on this card is jutting out any further than the other. I don't think so, it's come out. Every time I say that, I'm sure this works out perfectly. But if there's one that sticks out a bit further than the other one, just by a tad, I put the longer one, or the sticky out one, on the top. Just makes opening the card a bit easier. So what we're going to do with this is hold this left hand side, slide that up to the fold so that it just about goes over the fold. Then hold it loosely as you close this down and let the card push it into position. Okay, it will decide how far away from the fold it needs to go. And just give that a good press. Okay, so you finish up with this. And you know your card folds perfectly with it. So for the front page, I'm going to put this one on first. In fact, I'll go through and put all the pages on, I think, first of all. And that should have about a 1/4 of an inch gap all the way around. And open it up. Now when you put this page in, this is inside right, inside left hand. It doesn't matter, they're both the same, depends which picture I like. Well, let's make it the bit more boyish, because it's, but it doesn't really matter, does it? I was going to say because it's not, I was going to say that's because that's got a dress on it, this one hasn't. Anyway, as I say, you've got this fold over here, but once you've opened the card, it's all put together, you don't really notice it. I mean, you may have done, but I don't think it's particularly noticeable. Right, so let's do this. Again, looking out for the same sort of gap. And you don't become noticeable, you don't notice the little ledge there where it goes over that extra piece. And then the next one is going to be this one. That's better, yes. Yeah, they're facing each other. Another good reason. Oh. And when you're looking at it, just, if you're with this, hold this piece up in the middle and just see that your lines are going, look as if they're going across each other. From where I'm sitting, that looks okay. Okay, so there's that one. And then one for the back, and that's my straight sheet, a flat sheet rather. Okay, so that's for the writing. This would also make a great Easter card as well. Obviously change the sentiment, but there is an Easter sentiment on the storybook stamp set. Okay, so that's that all done. Let me just show you I'll give you a close-up of the little animals that I have been colouring and painting. Okay, so that's those. The hedgehog, I've got that one, got that one, got one missing. Who's missing? You got the hedgehog, you've got the squirrel, rabbit. Oh, there's 3 of them in that one. Okay. As you know, I'm no artist, no, but I think you can see the detail there. I will list all the colours I've used in here. You might think, where did she use a pink one? But I do go with the little ears there with a little bit of pink. I don't know if that's going to show up or not. But he's got a little bit of pink, pink, pink. So all the colours that I've used, I would tell you now. I've used light and dark crumb cake, light and dark boho blue. Oh, that was another crumb cake. This is light cherry cobbler. That was for the, what I think is the radish. And I used light bubble bath for the ears, and for the little leaves I've used light parakeet party. Actually, is that the one? Is that no, that's not retired yet, is it? But as I said, they will be listed all below. So you've seen all of those. So to put the card together, now the first one, let's get my sheet back. Come on, let go. Actually, I do think I'm one little figure short on this. So if I have to just leave it blank, please forgive me. Now I'm going to fit this on here, and I like to centre this. So I've got about the same gap there as there, that and that, which means this bit here is going over the bump, so I don't put glue on that side. I just leave that loose. Okay, just double check. That's the bit I don't want it on. I'm just guessing this. So I'm going to check it from here first before I push it down. That looks about right. Oops. That's about right. Just make sure that's about straight. That goes on the red line. Yep, possibly a little bit down. Yes, that looks straight. You may see that I've got a little bit of, I don't know whether it's showing up in the camera or not, but you can see by a little bit of shine here. I've got some glue there. Yes, I'll wait till that dries, and then I'll use my glue eraser. Right, for the second one, now inside I've got a hedgehog. I'm going to put that one in there. And I just put this in the centre. I think that's the one I'm going to be short of. In fact, I'll see if I've still got one of these. Right, you're going to be going in there. So I wonder if I could put you there and you there. Right, I'm changing my mind here. I'm going to decorate this one with the hedgehog looking over in the centre, but that hedgehog is looking at that one. And then, oh, but this has got its back away. Never mind. I have tried keeping them all facing each other, but I think I should have used a squirrel for this. But never mind. Let's come back to this one then. In the centre. I think this is my favourite out of the little characters. Probably from a colouring point of view. Right, so the next one we're going to do is here. And I don't really measure this or anything. I'd probably sort of line this up, the edge of this with the blue line. And halfway there, see, that's the same gap, that's the same gap. That's probably got about ½ inch there. Okay, so I'm only going to put glue on that first ½ inch. So it's that bit there. It doesn't matter if the glue goes over because you're going to put the other one on the back of it. Okay, so I said make sure that is the same as that, about there. That's about there. Just hope you didn't get any there. No, because it's oozing out. Now this one I'm going to put at the back. Now obviously, because this is deckled, this isn't even. When you line one up on the opposite side, there is going to be a slight overlap of it. Let me show you if you can see how much that is overlapping. It doesn't really notice in the card. And that's the kind of thing that I can normally be quite fussy over. But I think it's so slight. Now again, this has got to adhere against the other label. Okay, so I'm going to line up the front end first, and then when I'm happy, then I'm going to push that one down there. I did wonder whether I should have decorated that or not. You can see my glue coming out again, but that's okay. But when I showed hubby, he said no, leave it as it is. That's coming a bit down too far. Okay, so that's that, and that, and then I'm using one of these little ones to decorate on that side there. So what I'm going to do when I get a quiet afternoon or something, I'm going to stamp a few more of these, die cut them, so I'm ready for future projects. Okay, so where I have done, that is different because I wanted it up on dimension, but you could just stamp these straight onto your labels and colour them from there. You don't need to do it as a die cut. I'm going to have to go through and check these. Excuse me. Okay, so that I think is today's card. Seem to be exceptionally clumsy with my glue, but I'm not worried about that because I can get that sorted out. Okay. So what do you think? Oops. Worth giving it a try? I think it's great, really lovely. And I definitely prefer these like this rather than my original card, which was like that with that there. But I didn't want to waste it, so I thought I'll give it a try. So there we go. Really hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please, if you have liked it, give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do by clicking the button down there in the bottom right hand corner. If you want to purchase any of the products here today, and I think this is the first because I haven't used anything that's retired, which is great, another step in the right direction. this is the address of my Stampin' Up shop, and if you want a bit more information about these, you'll find it on my blog, which is www.JanBCards.com, which will go live the same day as the video goes live, which will be on Sunday, which I think the date is the 12th of January already. And if you're ordering during January, please remember to quote the January hostess code, and then when I send you a handmade thank you card together with a handmade thank you gift, I'll also be able to send you some free product. And don't forget, we are now going through celebration, which will last until 28th of February, and that means for every qualifying order you place, you can choose a free gift from the celebration brochure. The qualifying order is £55, or she is going to have to reach over to get the book because I can never remember the euro amounts. This is the brochure for €70, which is £55, or €140, which is 110. Some of these are level 1, which is the £55, €70, and then there's level 2, which is the £110 with the, I've forgotten it already, 110, 140. They do have some really nice gifts there, stamped out with matching dies. If you know people who enjoy dancing, nice free stamp set there. That's nice, I've got that as the paper. But yeah, there's a nice little selection in there, and it's free for every £55 order. So I think that's probably about it for me today. Enough rambling. I hope you like this, hope you give it a try, and I look forward to seeing you next time. In the meantime, happy crafting. Cheerio.